Let's start with a quote on this one, shall we? This is from Jamie Carragher. He said, "This is not a David Moyes team we've seen here today." I'll tell you what, you're very wrong there, Jamie Carragher. Very, very wrong indeed, because that's exactly what West Ham can play like. Every season, 2 or 3 times a season, we get a hiding like that. And I tell you what, it's completely and utterly unacceptable. That game has finished Liverpool 5, West Ham United 1, I think. Got loads of notes there to try and discuss and dissect that. Terrible, terrible performance. David Moyes, I feel, had the chance of cup glory today, and he decided not to go for it. That is the only thing that I can think happened, basically. Basically, either West Ham made no attempt to win, or we were completely incompetent. One of the two. I don't know. But let's go with the incompetence, shall we? Because I tell you what, that was absolutely awful. I'm not going to have time to deal with everything. There's just too many goals. So we're going to have to tune in tomorrow for what I really, truly think about. Not the performance. We'll do the goals, do all that stuff now. And we'll do a full grump up, a full moody one tomorrow, because that was nowhere near good enough, really. From the off, Liverpool pressed. They pressed hard, they pressed fast, and it forced us into giving the ball back to Areola. So forced him to kick loads at the start. What it also forced us to do was to try and play through the press, which meant for West Ham to get through the press, we were going to have to do one-touch passing. We couldn't do it. It really highlighted a few players' inadequacies. There's absolutely no doubt about that at all. There's some players in this team I've got massive sympathy for. There's a couple of players I'm very, very angry with. And there's just some players who was just sort of one step too far. Despite it not being Liverpool's first team or best team out there, they were too much for West Ham. All I should say is there can't be any surprises there at all. Let's go through the goals. Let's go through the goals, and we get this done as quickly as I can, really, because it's awful, because there are so many notes. First goal, terrible play from Saïd Benrahma. I don't know if he dropped the shoulder, tried to play a pass, tried to do a dribble, whatever he did. It was either a crap pass or a crap piece of technique and control. Gave the ball to Szoboszlai, started advancing upon us. Ben Johnson should have closed him down. Didn't close him down at all, and he shot and he scored a really good goal. And sometimes when people score a world-class goal, you say hands up, brilliant goal. But no, without that muck up, without the surrender of possession, which is something we were going to do for 3 more, so basically for 4 of the goals, I think we surrendered possession for. I think I got that right. We'll go through them. I lost count. There's so bloody many. No, if we hadn't given them the ball like Benrahma did there, they don't get the attack, right? So there you go. There's goal number 1. Now, what I should probably say is at half time, it's 1-0. We were crap, awful first half, as bad as you can see. It really is. But we were still in it. David Moyes needed to make changes at half-time, though, and he probably needed to make 3 or 4 of them. What he was doing was not working. West Ham were not contesting defence. We were not contesting midfield at all. And because of that, I don't think we had our first proper attempt until late on in the second half. I think it was Kudus. Might have that wrong. He didn't make a change at half-time. I'll tell you what did happen shortly after half-time was that Saïd Benrahma had a 50-50. In fact, forget 50-50. It was a 60-40 in his favour. He pulled out of it. And at that point, 46 minutes, go back and watch it if you dare, I thought, get him off right now. Even though I thought they should have come at half-time. Just get those substitutions. Now, at this point, Lucas Paquetá's warming up on the touchline. He doesn't do it, he leaves it. What does David Moyes do? He does what he normally does. He leaves it 10 minutes. Whilst Lucas Paquetá stood on the touchline, waiting to be substituted on, Liverpool scored their second goal. We've seen this before, by the way. Awful goal, 2-0. Souček failed to track Curtis Jones. He did a 1-2 with Núñez, Curtis Jones. Souček just didn't chase him. I think, looking at that today, Souček's played too much football. Ogbonna tried to close him down, was a little bit too slow. Jones finished between Areola's legs. Souček was a painful watch today. I use this analogy too much, maybe. It's a bit like, watching the start of the X Factor or Britain's Got Talent, right? And you watch those things, and you watch someone that can't sing at the start, and it's painful because you're basically seeing someone that's out of their depth. Thomas Souček was out of his depth today, and he drowned because we needed to play first touch passing. It was full steamboat Willie again this time. Honestly, the full oil tanker was on. He's passing. He can't pass one touch. It was horrendous. Don't get me wrong. He made some headers and he made some interceptions. Everyone had to in this game. We were under the cosh so much, but it was awful. It was the reason it's uncomfortable is you're watching someone struggling, and it ain't nice. He's a good servant for West Ham, and it was a terrible performance. But David Moyes had no business putting out a midfield that he did. It was absolutely horrendous. Goal 3, Gakpo, Souček lost his man and he gave up. He went like that. You can look, even if you listen to this, you know the gesture I just made. If you're not watching on video and just listening, it wasn't a shrug. It was a gesture. He gestured. He was gesturing to Ogbonna, Mavropanos, both of whom probably could have closed down the man with a little bit more ferocity. Mavropanos certainly backed off a bit. So what was that? 3-0, 3-1. There you go. A little bit of joy for you. A little bit of something to rejoice. Jarrod Bowen goal. Great goal. Great goal. Not quite a solo goal, almost though. Really good ball, actually, from Ben Johnson. If you haven't seen it, basically imagine what Lucas Paquetá's been doing with his left foot. Yes, I know, Ben Johnson's right foot. He did this with his left foot. Really good ball. Curled it over the back line. Bowen ran onto it. He cut inside and curled a beautiful shot with his right foot from about 15 yards. Really, really good goal. Look, you know what? I'm going to criticise a lot of players here. And I've already criticised Ben Johnson for backing off in this game. To be fair to Johnson, he was far from the worst player today, and that was a really good ball for the assist. And yeah, I mean, at points he was the only person trying to push us up the field. You've got to feel sorry for Bowen, by the way. No service today for all the reasons I've already explained. So what's that? 3-1, 4-1. Oh, Salah here. Paquetá lost the ball. As we were attacking, Mavropanos had sort of advanced up the pitch. I think we were sort of chasing the game. It was 3-1. Maybe we've got a bit of belief that we could make it 3-2. Paquetá just lost the ball. Liverpool broke really, really quickly. Salah scored just too quick. And obviously there was a central defender missing because Mavropanos had marched up the pitch. I can't complain too much about that because I quite like it when defenders move into midfield and whatnot. But look, we didn't lose this game because that happened. Let's be perfectly honest. And you know, Ogbonna, Mavropanos, a lot of them, the goalkeeper, a lot of them were put under too much pressure in that game. You shouldn't be forced to defend that many times. You shouldn't be forced to be that active in goal. You really shouldn't. It was a tactical shit show, really. It absolutely was. 5-1. This one, Curtis Jones. There you go. So many bloody notes. Dance for everyone. Basically, yeah, I think, you know, maybe it could have been closed down more by Mavropanos, Ogbonna. Everyone lost it. It's you know, you could just see they were completely disinterested by this point. The players, well, bully for them, good for Moyes, not so good for the 6,000 fans that went up there, because that is a disgusting performance. You almost want them to have had a memo beforehand saying, look, we're not gonna really go for it. What the bloody hell Moyes was doing with those tactics, I don't know. But some people were individually horrendous today, by the way. So I've mentioned one of them, Souček. There's someone else I don't want to overly talk about massively out of respect. Plus, to be fair, we've already done like 8 minutes. I've got to do. I'll sort of sleep on it, and I'll give my my more, I was going to say balanced views on it tomorrow. It won't be balanced, but it gives me not another opportunity to think about it. Saïd Benrahma. Let's talk about Saïd Benrahma, shall we? We'll talk about the rest in more detail tomorrow. Saïd Benrahma was awful. I've already said he ducked out of a 50-50 challenge. He did that. He gave the ball away for our first goal. And any time he had an opportunity to cross or a pass, he didn't do it. He didn't take it. He dithers, he dillies, he dallies, he's hesitant. I've said all this before, of course. But it was awful. It was truly awful, actually. But it'd be wrong to go too hard on one player because so much of it was wrong. So, yeah, I mean, there's a blame on the players here, some individual players. There is a massive blame on the manager. And let's get this absolutely right. I said this the other day when David Moyes did well. As David Moyes deserves the praise for this. He has to have the praise when he does well. Let's not credit other people with what David Moyes does well. But let's give him some criticism when he does badly, because that was naive. It almost seemed as if David Moyes didn't have a clue how Jurgen Klopp or Liverpool were going to play. He had no answer to it. They were fast and athletic, and we weren't. And it showed. And you're probably looking at things, hold on, I haven't spoken about Mohamed Kudus having spoken about for now. What's the point? I mean, there's actually no point. And I'll tell you why. We didn't contest that game. We'll go into more detail tomorrow in the video. We've also got our player ratings tomorrow. There's so much instant in what I've just described. Look, there you go, 10 minutes already, and and let's be fair, no one wants to hear any more about it. A disgusting performance. And as I say, I felt that was a chance. It was a real chance, to go into the cup and to get through the quarter-final and to go into the cup with a real chance of lifting a trophy. And I was sure David Moyes doesn't normally do what he did tonight, but he's done it today. Anyway, look, do you know what? I'll discuss it in more detail about the squad and the rotation and the individual players tomorrow. I'll let you all go to bed now. There you go. Pretty much horrendous there. So I say Liverpool 5, West Ham United 1.